What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Drive Inside. Got Alex and Dirk with me today. What's going on,
Howdy,
fellas?
howdy.
So I'm kind of excited for this one. I want to do. It's Camaro Day. It's always a fucking good day, man. So, were you gonna say something, Dirk? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, bud.
Oh, I just said America.
America.
America, baby.
America.
Love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Burley's in the house already. Hey, we need a mid-engine V12 Camaro. Stream is done.
Well, good night, everybody.
Dude. Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Nice seeing y'all. Have a good week. Yeah. A mid-engine V12. I don't know, man. You're part. I'll agree with some of that. Yeah, mid-engine.
I don't think Camaro makes a
Jesus.
good mid-engine car. Because
Saludos, Jesus.
Camaro really wouldn't be a good mid-engine car because it'd be like, now you're just a Corvette. I mean, you could back seats probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have to.
They're going to make a four-door SUV Corvette, so there's no more need for a non-two-seater Corvette.
No, I'm way
Now,
good with what we got.
A Camaro wagon, two-door wagon,
Oh,
that
here we
could
go.
be interesting.
No, yeah, interesting's a word. Well, that's one word. I'm way good with what we got, and I think the Camaro, and this is part of the reason why I don't think it's going to go away, and I think it'll continue on and live where in the lineup because, well, I mean, it's the only front engine rear wheel drive car that they've got now that the Corvettes went to the mid engine. It's kind of worked for Ford. Ford's got the GT with the mid engine, and then they got the Mustang with the GT style or whatever. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So I honestly think that this is why. Well, I mean, it just fits in the lineup. If Camaro was going to go away, I think it would have. Camaro must be like the yeah. Dirt just fucking blasts them to me, man, on Instagram. Just every notification I get, I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
I've been having fun with the AI, man. AI can do some cool stuff.
Yeah. Apparently, other YouTubers know too.
But we got
Blind spots.
What's that?
Around Derp. Camaro must be like the thumbnail, but with better blind window. I'm assuming that's like a blind spot thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's like an issue. I never gave a rat's patootie about blind spots. I had Hoovers.
I've had one. That's intentional blind spot. I had a 1SS and I've had a ZL1. Hey, Derp, how often do you use that blind spot monitoring? Do you?
Talking about the little lights that come on?
Yeah.
On the windows? I don't. I just happen to notice them, but I don't really like.
Is it a crutch?
No. I like
exactly
the camera mirror more than anything. The camera mirror,
hell yeah,
zoomed all the way out. I don't really have my blind spot. Technically, is me trying to go through like a drive-through. That's the only place I'm scared of. Is like a narrow drive-through. So if my daughter's telling me like I want to go to some freaking coffee Starbucks type place, I'm like, I'm not going through drive-through. So I mean, you can run inside or whatever, but I'm not driving through the drive-through because.
Damn, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you get a lot of curb rash in drive-thrus.
Damn,
or you do the lip spoiler when you could pull around and they put like the sidewalk like around. It is annoying as hell.
Yeah that's exactly how
a front camera. I mean, couldn't the Corvette have a front camera, a front grill camera? Why couldn't they?
CL1 too, right?
That was it. Yeah. See, that was exactly what I wanted to get into, and it was that's why I entitled this "The Camaro We Need" because there's a lot of things that the C8 got. That it's just stupid. And I was talking to Mike Burley about it earlier today, commenting on a freaking a post. Something about the spoiler, because I'm trying to get rid of this ugly spoiler. I hate our spoiler. I mean, how do you feel? Well, I guess
the stock spoiler?
Yeah.
It's not differentiated enough from like an SS spoiler. They should have done something.
It's hidden.
I don't like the 1LE spoiler either. I wanted something that's a little bit more. That's why I went with the integrated spoiler carbon fiber trunk. I like that, and it's streamlined. It gives you some, extra air. I'm curious what the actual, what do they call it? The
downforce.
Downforce you get from it. Probably not a ton, but it looks cool. And
what
truck weighs half the weight.
What?
Maybe 200 pounds downforce. kind of looks like that, not like
the 1LE, but I think it looks a lot better than the normal ZL1 because I mean, the spoiler is barely different from that, right? I mean, it's tiny different. Most people wouldn't even know the difference.
Yeah,
you're gonna laugh. I like no spoiler on the Camaro. The Berlinetta look, but I'm dating myself now.
No,
I had an 82 Berlinetta, so
yeah. Okay, there you go.
I had a 355 3-speed.
Was that the split port or Crossfire? Or what they call that motor?
Mine came with a V6, but
okay.
The guy I bought it from, he dropped a 355 in it, and it had some kind of like funky ratchety wasn't sequential, it was like it was like some guy's project car I bought in high school.
Mine was 305 carbureted. It was like 120 horsepower. That was the Z28 in '83.
Yeah.
But it looked good. I mean, I had the IROC nose and the sills and the metal louvers, the Krager louvers. It looked good.
Well, I hope I'm saying that right. Jesus Sim saying no more black and gray interior. Yes. It's I hate the way that they box us in. They just paint you in a corner and everybody gets the same boring ass black interior with the red stitching. The SS's get the silver stitching, and man, it's just I agree with you, man.
Need more color,
need more options,
or like
any options.
If the dealers, like the lot. I was going to call them the lot lizards, the lot cars, like the dealer orders.
Yeah,
just get those knee pads, make them red, put some color in. It's like a $200 option. You're not going to.
Well, I think that's why the jailbreak just freaking took off like it did, because it's just.
And most of them are still black interior.
Yeah, I mean, the jailbreak for Dodge, they gave you way more.
Not that much, you would think, but.
I mean, you could light up the center of the steering wheel. You could get different floor mats.
All Hellcats have that.
You could get different piping on the floor, but Camaro doesn't. Everybody just
we don't
gets
even
get
floor lighting as like as an actual like normal, like not even as an option. It's like if you want floor lighting, it's like dealer installed option.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm talking just
that should be default. That should be standard.
Challenger to Challenger options. The jailbreak isn't all that much.
Yeah.
Because you're still restricted. Like if I want to get a green car and a red interior, no, it won't let you. I wanted to get a red interior on my Sublime.
Really?
It wouldn't let me. I'm like, where's this jailbreak I hear of? Not for every car, but anyways.
Yeah.
On the Camaro, there's not enough ability to customize it. You're locked in. We were talking earlier about the carbon fiber insert for the dashboard, right?
Yep.
Unless it's that steel and ice or ice and steel package. Unless it's that, you cannot get it. Even though it's showing up on the website on the build your own, you go to click that carbon fiber and it changes your whole car into the whites with the green accents. I'm like, yeah.
Just as long as there aren't two iPad screens like they're putting in the dark.
Yes.
That's what everybody's going to. Like even like the new Subaru WRX has this big, giant, ugly like screen that's like not super responsive. I mean, so you click it.
Is it
like,
laggy?
I hate when it's not like horrible, but I've seen some and it's still got a split second, any split second delays. That's one thing I do like about the Camaro now. I mean, this is like super responsive. Like people complain about the angle of it and the screen and stuff like that, which I think is fine, and it's very responsive. Like compared to my wife's Mustang, it's not really laggy, but the Camaro is like super snappy. At least the 19 and up. I'm not sure about the older infotainment centers, but I mean, you hit something, it does it instantly. Plus, I have all my tactile switches for my my various,
What did Chevrolet call that?
The
infotainment 3.
Yeah,
I think that's what.
Mine was the last year of no infotainment. Mine was a 14. So I had the green dot matrix with the CD player, and that was it.
My God,
Engagements. Wow. God, I missed it. I'm gonna get another 5th gen. Watch, and I'm gonna get a Z28. Might as well if you're gonna get a 5th, right?
I hope the prices come down.
I don't think so.
It's only hope. Keyword hope, dude. Yeah.
Do prices ever go down once they raise them?
No.
I've never seen
dude, we had that freaking somebody came in and was talking about, why does it bother you if it's not your money? And you know, people are just getting freaking absolutely destroyed on markups, and I'm like, you know, because it sets the precedence that everybody else has to follow. It's a pay to play type situation from here on out because a couple of assholes want to freaking come in and run the prices up, and it's not something I want to be a part of.
At least with the Z28, you could, you know, they still made them, you know. Then they came out the ZL1 afterwards, so there was always like a better car you can get down the line. Whereas with Dodge said, "Oh, this is the last one. Oh, you want more?" You know, you're like, "May I have some more?"
Yeah.
Challenger.
Yeah. No, take your bowl of chum and be happy. Yeah. Tracy says, "Yep, you are correct. I'm having to add that carbon fiber to my dash. Couldn't get GM to." Yeah. I remember him telling me about that. Yeah. They wouldn't do it for some reason.
Because I think they don't have enough of them, and they're
was it on constraint? Was it on constraint at some point?
I haven't talked to my buddy because I didn't order anything yet. Because we were talking about it. Now I'm going back towards the idea of a single seat Challenger because I'm insane.
When I ordered my car, I ordered my ZL1. They were everywhere. I didn't have a problem getting it.
You have carbon fiber?
Yeah, but even they even got they even had some on eBay in the GM had the GM General Motors hologram, its original OEM parts, and I'm like, but couldn't get the wing, so I was kind of blocked out from the 1LE. It's good to see you, Tracy. GSM red and blue seats, ZL1 badge, Recaro seats with silver red logo, ZL1 floor mats, red and some blue. Yeah,
here we go. 7th gen interior right behind me. Huh? Is it the Dodge steering wheel?
No.
Steering wheel?
Is that a Dodge steering wheel?
It looks more like a Mustang wheel.
It's like a blend of a Mustang Dodge looking steering. Because if you see the bottom part of it, kind of looks like a Dodge kind of.
Yeah.
I like the flat.
Have you named your bot yet? That robot that builds that shit for you? What are we gonna call it? William? William?
Tiffany.
Tiffany.
That's what I used to have an AI thing.
Tracy said.
Tiffany.
Tracy said. It's like he said it was with certain packages. Yeah, but the SS1LE, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. My SS1LE didn't have it on there, so that might be true. But still, if you're willing to pay for it, put it in the car. It's not hard.
Exactly.
Burley says, call your AI bot Wang. Let's call him Wang, bud.
Botzilla.
Well, it depends on what you're going to do with the bots, okay?
Can't do anything too crazy with it. It is limited on what you can render.
Well, you're married because...
Oh, is it? Is it? Because I've seen some pretty good stuff come from it.
The one I use is Midjourney. There's other ones that are less restrictive on what you can render up.
Really? Does it do video?
Not yet.
It doesn't do video, does it?
There is this one
AI that, there are AI that does some kind of video type stuff, but not the ones
it's just
use.
You just
I
wait.
can't mention it here. The AI bot I'm using. No, it is something pen.ai.
Huh.
Corn pen. It's corn
pen. Oh!
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Man,
so
they got away with the 6-finger problem.
Well.
Midjourney fixed that with V5 most.
So my thing is I've been doing some research and Mike, I did find the article you're talking about with the production ending in January. I still think I'm right. But collector's edition dirt, I saw you made a video on it. Is there anything you want to change? Is there anything predictions as far as you think coming out? Because we should be hearing something drop here pretty soon. So
I can't remember what my prediction was. No, not really. I mean, I still think
it's going to be a sticker package.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sticker emblems, maybe a paint, like a limited paint, only for the collector's edition option color, maybe.
Yep.
Like the 45th.
maybe a caliper color, maybe for like the ZL1 version of the collector's edition. Maybe calipers will be instead of like red for the 1LE and silver for the ZL1. Maybe it'll be like orange or blue or whatever the theme color they go with for the collector's package. I'm not sure what the theme color is. Maybe it's a blue or something. I don't know. But maybe
like they do with the ZR1. That's actually a pretty good guess. Okay.
Yeah, then they'll match maybe to the stitch color. They'll put like a little plaque or some crap on the shift bezel or on the little passenger side plate.
We should do a bet.
That's it.
What color the car is going to be?
Oh, what the main collector's edition color?
Yeah, the main color of the car.
And you still think the wheels is just a F up, a slip up?
Yeah, well, you can tell. I mean, they photoshopped the front wheel to the back wheel. I mean, it's an obvious direct copy paste. There's no way they're going to redesign and put 6-piston rear calipers on that thing. There's no way they're going to do that.
No. I'm saying you don't think that's indicating anything, new wheels or anything. You're holding firm.
No, they're lazy. They're not going to design a whole new wheel for the collector's.
Nah, they just want the fiver.
Maybe they may.
They're lazy.
Paint the wheel. Maybe they'll paint the wheels and just do like the normal ZL1 wheels, but like black instead of like the gunmetal color. Maybe they'll do something like that. To make the caliper color they go with pop a little bit more, or to offset it by a little bit. But that's minimal effort. It's going to be minimal effort stuff. Painting the wheels is minimum effort. Coming out with a completely new wheel, that's way too much. They're doing that's crazy.
Yeah.
What? I think they're going to do the red line wheels. Now that I think about it, nobody's ordering them. So they probably have a whole warehouse of red line, the black with the red stripe on the outer rim of the wheel.
Yeah.
Or for like the non ZL1 collector editions, like the SS collectors with the collector.
Yeah, nobody orders those. They're very expensive. Like what is it, $3,000 for that option? Yeah. So they might want to unload those.
Joshua Flo says hoping
those look like.
Joshua Flo says, hoping they release the low-rise spoiler for the ZL1 that the Lethal Garage posted a picture of. The 1LE is too high for my taste. Yeah. I don't like... Yeah, I'm with you.
Boy racer.
The thing is this car... The car as a whole, I mean, the cab, there's just the trunk area, the trunk portion of the car, it's so far back. It's so little of real estate back there. The wing is tricky. It's hard. And I think the minimalistic feature approach to this looks better. Because just those little tiny blade spoilers or whatever, I'm digging.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that the even like nothing at all looks pretty good. I was talking with Corey on LSX Motorsports. Also, the carbon fiber trunk that Derp's got, I think is pretty good. Other than that, I just don't think this car can accept a big, gaudy wing aesthetically. Now, for downforce and track purposes or whatever, yeah. I mean, you have options out there, but they look horrible, dude.
Yeah, the track dedicated ones, they don't care about if you can't open your freaking trunk or whatever.
No,
or like that's why they get the frame mounted ones that come all
that's what I was gonna say. Frame mounted spoiler. That's the way to go.
Well, consumer wants that. No one wants that.
They have ones where the top pops off and your risers actually go through the trunk area. So you have to cut 2 holes for the risers, and then the wing actually mounts. It's welded or bolted down where your spare tire is.
Do a Superbird style Daytona. Yeah. The wing is so high that the trunk opens underneath it.
Yeah.
We're talking that would be kind of like, okay, that's dumb enough that I like it. Yeah. And that's kind of like options. I like dumb options that nobody gets. I want that. The dumbest color combos, like I want to make it so like, wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like, did a purple with pink polka dot cars just pass me by?
Yeah. Mike Burley says matte black car with silver gray hood and trunk.
I don't GM.
It's too Dodge. It's
I could see him do like a satin silver or something like that, or something like
the old Chip Foose move, right?
Literally, it's that.
Yeah, I saw BMW at a car event a couple days ago that the stock color was like a satin white, so it was like not like a full matte, but it wasn't a gloss. It was like a satin with like a pearl in it. It looked really good.
Yeah,
that's Cadillac to me. That's Cadillac Eldorado, 1996. That was
no.
Well, I mean,
they
but you know the color, right?
Like that.
The pearly white.
WA 800J. WA 800J is a paint code if you want to look it up. But it's when I can't remember that guy's the Godfather of the 5th gen and 6th gen Camaro. When they released the Z20, something like that.
Hopping something.
You know,
I didn't want to butcher it. Thanks for doing that.
Go ahead. Because
when they released the Z28, they wanted when they released it at SEMA, it was a big event, but they wanted to show off the body line, so they actually put a 40% gloss level stealth wrap over the car, and that white car with like a satin look to it. It looks freaking awesome.
Well, I think any car looks good when you have the blacked out wheels, blacked out trims, with like the Z28's look to it. You know, Dodge took that and ran with it. Like you can't even get like chrome wheels, except on the Hemi and the 6-cylinders.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I like it blacked out, but there's some cars that kind of, like a more of a street kind of car. There's one of my guys that has these replica wheels, right? They look like the old rally wheels that Camaros had in the 68, 69, right? But they're 20-inch.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look bad. I'm very tempted, but,
I just get worried about quality at that point.
True. I mean,
but no, matte black car with silver hood, cab and trunk. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Panther thing.
The
Panther thing altogether.
Red, white, and blue stripes on the hood.
I mean, I could see that. I just don't think. I think they're going to have to do something to where you cannot make this car at home or replicate it. I mean, so it's either going to have to be a paint, or they're going to have to do something mechanical, or they're going to have to do something. Because
that'll be. Go ahead, Bill. Sorry,
No, I was just going to say I don't think it's going to be worth the markup to people at that point. Then, but
I don't think they'll care. But that'll be a good indication for us, right? If the car is simply sticker package that anybody can go to their local wrap shop and get. That means we're getting another Camaro.
Yeah.
If it's something wild, like, I don't know, stuffing in a turbo supercharged engine somehow, you know what I mean? Like some crazy thing. No, I was talking to somebody else about kind of building I want to build a car company at some point. Yeah. And one of the crazy ideas I have is to do a fuel-injected / carbureted engine. So you got both, which is a nightmare. Technically,
EPA is going to be knocking on your door after they watch the video.
That's what I was just about to say. They're going to have 2 handfuls of hair on you, buddy.
Well, I'm counting on some deregulation by the time I'm old and gray and have enough money to do this. And if New York and California, we're not going to market there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. And if I have to, I'll sell them as used cars. And sell them in Wyoming, North Dakota, where they got no emissions.
Well, I honestly think that they're going to have to do something. If they do, I agree with you that's going to be good news for us. So it's going to be,
Hey, John.
I mean, we're gonna know here in just a little bit. So, yeah, John.
Nobody get their hopes up. Nobody get your hopes up.
But let me.
That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing, though.
I'm curious what everybody else thinks. Like,
what
as far as what they're going to see. The guys that are watching right now, sound off. Let's see what you guys think.
As far as what?
Just what we're going to see with the Camaro. If it's going to be some over-the-top craziness, or just a sticker package, or
Tracy says, "Yeah, I don't think GM really cares about the Camaro. They're too busy concentrating on that 70." Yeah. Corvette. The thing,
2 words.
I mean, they're the mass stupid decisions in a series of bad decisions, one after the other, has really put this company in trouble. And it's on a downward spiral right now, and it's public information that Mary Barra and all of them have been trying to scrounge up anywhere from like $2 to $4 billion just to keep this company afloat and on track to be
What is that dirt?
That's my 3rd gen reimagined.
Ooh.
Oh my God, reimagine.
That's my rendered 3rd gen. You see the call
blended with what?
Front end?
Blended with what?
Actually, I did a 3rd gen photo and then I rendered it as a modern, semi futuristic looking 3rd gen. I like how I did the front end.
That is swing big time. Damn. Well, I'm like, the beer can Camaro fan. I mean,
I want to hurt myself.
that is hot.
No,
I remade 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th gen versions of every car with AI. So this is the 3rd gen. 1st gen looks really good too, and the 5th gen looks even better.
I got a couple of old manual. I used to draw. I still have stacks of car concepts and all that. Like I said, I've been thinking about making the cars for a while now, and one of them is very similar to that. I always like the sleek, long lines, less rounded kind of stuff, and it's probably why I like the 5th gen so much, because it kind of stayed angular, not too many crazy lines and whatnot.
Burley says stickers, badges, and some small aesthetics.
This is the 5th
Zero
gen.
power performance upgrades.
I like that RS kind of looking light going across the hood. That's cool. Hey, Andrew, let me ask you: is there a way we can do something where drawing live?
Drawing?
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Well.
Not
that I'm aware of.
I got my tablet here thingy that I draw a lot. I've shifted from scanning actual drawings to digital whatnot.
Yeah, just check out OBS. You can do a live stream with OBS and record it, and you can actually set one of your captures as your screen.
Okay.
Or I'm assuming your tablet will be drawing on the screen, right? So you capture your screen, capture your webcam, capture your mic, and then you can stream it. So actually, when I recorded my AI video, I was using OBS.
I saw that
video. So I could have streamed that video if I wanted, but I just did a normal.
I'm gonna learn OBS. Try that. The old geezer trying to figure out that there. What are you kids, whippersnappers, doing with the OBS? What's that? Old bastard system?
Let's see here. Tracy says, hard head makes a sore butt. Yeah, it's PG version, of course. I have not heard this, man. He says, is it true that Ford just asked the government for $750 million? Now, I don't keep my finger on the pulse of Ford, but I'm not sure.
Well,
have you guys heard?
I heard a few things about what is going on here. Oh my God. Ford is in trouble with, just go around me because I got some cable.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they're all going to be in trouble because they're throwing every last little penny and nickel that they have at these damn EVs. And it's starting to become an issue as far as chewing up everybody's budget. So,
what I heard about Ford is that they had some major problems with the EV sales.
You don't say.
And Ford was like, Ford had this thing where they gave dealerships this option of going one of two routes. Either A, you choose the EV route where you're going to focus more on EV sales.
Yeah.
Or you can just focus on gas powered eco boost crap that they're selling and whatnot. But that's my hunch is that this is what gave the 7th gen Mustang the full green light. And why they even marketed it with if you remember, it said 7th generation and inside the O was a shift pattern. So that was more of Easter egg kind of thing, or dog whistle, whatever you want to call it. that this will be a gas car. You don't have 7-speed in a EV. So I think Ford is having some serious trouble with EV sales.
They all are. Everybody is.
Well, I heard rumors that Tesla's going to stop making cars and focus only on AI robots.
And batteries.
At least not for a while.
Yeah,
but they are losing a lot of money because they're losing that ability to sell those carbon credits and stuff like that. That was a big profit margin for them. Now everybody's coming out with EVs. They lose that.
Well, you know why, right? That was Dodge. Dodge used to buy up most of Tesla's carbon credits to offset for making, all the Hemis. So now Dodge has said, we don't need them. We're not going to buy them anymore. And now Tesla is like...
Well, Tesla did announce, I think they're coming out with a cheaper electric vehicle.
Well, yeah.
If they can pump them out.
Well, there's also the Chinese market that just banned Tesla. They are not allowed to sell anything in China. And there's a lot of things happening outside our borders that are not good for EVs.
No.
Ding dong, the EV's dead. Right? But, yeah, a lot of people got spooked, especially Californians, where they're being told, don't use your air conditioning, don't plug in this, don't charge that, don't charge your cars. And they were getting these Wi-Fi updates where the car would only charge to 50%, and that's it. So if you had a trip you had to go to and the next gas station was beyond your range, you were boned. Unless you had an older car or, a real car.
Yeah, yeah. The Would You Like to Know says, I think it will be equivalent to a Mach 1 parts bin car. Don't think the company will let them spend much on the package. I don't think they have much, man.
Yeah.
I really don't. So, I mean, just like Derp said, don't get your hopes up, but you never know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Do you think we're going to get it? Go ahead.
Well, the worse the car is, the better the chances we get a 7-gen.
Yeah. Yep.
And God, I hope it's an F-body reimagining.
Well, this actually is a G and X reimagining.
That's a G body. Yeah.
What is that? Oh, it's got kind of a nose of an F-body, but yeah, I can see the G body.
Yeah, this is a Turbo T or G and X reimagined.
Because I had a Grand Prix as well, 2-door, and God, I love this. I literally dreamt about that car last night. I'm probably going to end up getting a G body again. It's 82 Grand Prix with a Ford engine. Don't ask questions.
Yeah. Mike Burley says, how about the new IROC Z with 850 and carbon? I'm all for carbon ceramics. I am all for it.
Does the Camaro come with any carbon ceramic brakes at all? Oh, no. They don't.
Corvette did. C7 and C8 and Corvette did, but the Z28 did. The 5th gen Z28 came with carbon ceramics on it, but
how long do they last?
They last a long time, dude.
20, 30,000 miles?
No, probably like 100,000.
Well, if you drive it like a race car.
Nah, yeah, you're probably looking at 40, 50,000.
Pads will go faster. I mean, because I think that's what. See, I'm not like that 100% up to date.
The thing that takes them out is neglect or people not paying attention to how far their brake pads are wearing down and the backing plate going in and scoring the face of the rotor. That's what ultimately takes them out. Or you'll hit something and a little chip or a nick will come out of it, and then you
get stuck. Get stuck right between the pad and the disc. That's the worst. I've seen that happen.
Did you guys get I did. I got my letter last week, but mine only had rear parking sensors. So, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. I don't depend on them. I might go in and get it done just because. My thing is anybody in here have them? Because I do not want another thing in my car beeping and flashing.
I've never even noticed mine ever beeping.
Do you have parking sensors in yours? In rear?
Yeah, I have a 21. I have a 21. So
okay, so does it beep?
I've never noticed to do anything ever.
Because I had a 2018 Malibu, and it did. If you got too close to anything, it beeped.
Yeah,
beep,
mine,
beep, 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 beep. It's like,
I mean, I was back in, and I was using my camera, and so if somebody's like crossing me, it'll. But I think that's the camera doing it. I haven't noticed my parking sensors ever doing anything ever.
Yeah. So
my question, the front ones are scary.
My question to you, Tracy, is: did you get them put in? Because I guess that dealers are stocking up on those parts. So they said that they're going to be doing these recalls. Hang on 1 second here. Oh, is that? Yeah. No. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them in there or not, but yeah, even Mike. Mike, you didn't get any? Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I think this is kind of like the same as a Dodge recall with the air pressure sensor, the TPMS sensors that are going bad. And I honestly don't give a rat's about tire pressure sensors. Oh, there you go, Fortune. That looks like an Integra, or what was that little Acura?
It looks sleepy. It looks sleepy with those freaking headlights. Now, the only thing sensor that's really bugged me on my Camaro is the damn the air pressure, tire air pressure sensors. Mine will randomly just stop reading one of the tires and it'll give me an alert and it'll show just 2 like dashes for one of my wheels.
Yeah.
And then I'll drive and shut the car off, turn it on, and it's reading just fine. And
then it's just fine.
2 months later, a different wheel will do the same thing. I'm like, what the heck? So the first couple times I did it, I was like, oh man, I must have blown a tire. It says I'm at a dash. I pull over, I look, I'm like, okay, my tire's fine. Next day it reads, and then 3 months later, it'll be a completely different wheel that'll have issues reading.
Yep. I'm wondering if that's an indicator you're not driving your car enough. Because I had a check engine light come on, and the same thing. I drove the car. I started driving it a couple days a week, kind of blending it into my work schedule, just driving it a couple days. And, I mean, everything ironed out. But you've only got like 6,000 miles on your card, don't you?
Yeah, like 6,600 or so.
Yeah.
See, I never had any kind of mechanical trouble with mine. Granted, it was the LFX, so, not... What do you call it? What was the engine? The L99 or what's the other? The LT4?
LS3.
Was it in 3? I forgot.
Yeah.
We're going back already. It's like 10 years ago. Mine was 8
yeah.
years old. Yeah. But I never had any issues. No, other than my brakes were starting to get a little warped at 30,000 miles. Because I drove that car again like I was stealing it. Like trying to go sideways as much as I could.
I was talking, I think it was Mike I was talking to about buying a Yanko, and this is one of the reasons why I just don't want to invest a bunch of money into a car. It says not yet. Wherever I take it, they're gonna have to let me drive it into the garage and stay with it. Don't get out of the seat. Don't even unlatch your seatbelt.
Yeah, a lot of places won't let you. It's a
liability
thing.
Insurance.
They won't let you walk in the garage, driving. Now, if you know them, then you
wait. What garage?
Any.
Well, like a parking garage?
No, any dealership or wherever.
Shop.
Oh, the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of places like if you go in there and say you drive in there and you drive into a wall with your car.
Yep.
That's going to be a liability, and then the guy flies through the windshield or whatever, then they could be sued because you're technically most places. Now, if you know them, or if it's an enthusiast type place, they might they probably let you back there. But if it's like a dealership, they're probably gonna be like, heck no. Yeah. I had a Subaru dealership. But I took my WRX in, and they were a bunch of enthusiasts. Yeah. And I went back there and I walked underneath the car on the lift, and I was chatting with them while they're like was doing like some TSB or whatever on some header bolts or whatever replacement, and they're cool. But some places, they're like, you ain't going back here.
Yeah. I mean, last time I had to go in I was actually still working for Dodge, so I just drove in, and they actually treated me like, well, do it yourself. I'm like, I'm a customer now. I brought I just needed air in my tires, long story. I got a garage at home, but there's like 5 cars, so I don't have enough hose to get to air in my freaking Jeep.
It says $150,000 car. I'm staying with it. I would too. $156,000
you might be able to work something out.
If they don't let you, go to a different dealership. I wouldn't care. I would tell them, or
they might let you sign like a waiver or something like that. You know, if you're like, hey, you drive it off, crash into a lift, whatever, you're responsible.
Fine, but
JUSA Power, the current Camaro ZL1 1LE isn't bad. The rear diffuser needs to be more aggressive. Yeah, I agree. Adjustable rear wing, make it wider, lower, give it a front splitter, dive planes. It's already got them. Rocker panel extensions, got them. Oh, in carbon fiber. Yes. Yeah. I agree. I think
much with carbon fiber on the Camaro. I mean, it's bare minimum. Wing.
It's stupid.
They don't do body panels.
It's an insult. Yeah, but I mean, what about the people that like the Camaro better than the Corvette? I mean, you're just hosed. I mean, the thing is I'm looking for a different wing, but the thing is now they've drilled 3 giant holes in my trunk, and now I gotta do something with those holes before I can. You know what I mean? So they gotta find something that. That's why that carbon fiber trunk that Derp's got is. But man, I'll tell you what, dude, we've got almost the same freaking car now as it is. I mean, we did identical front end. I mean,
I got it. You reminded me. I got to go tomorrow because there's a ZL1 just like yours, same color. Yep. I got to go check that out. See if it's a sticker or not. I know he's going to try to get me in.
Here's my thing: and it's so weird. Is you guys tell me this too. Everybody has for years been like, buy the manual. The manual is going to be worth more, and then people don't. What the fuck is that? Like, what is that about? I do not understand this. Now everybody's scrounging to buy a stick.
Yeah, when they're going to be gone.
Yeah, and everyone's like, buy a manual. They're going to be worth more. Then they don't, and it's like, what in the hell?
Well, you remember the Jalopnik website? I don't even know if those guys are still up. Right? And VW did a poll there. And their question was, what car do you car enthusiasts want us to build? And we will build it. And everybody in the comments were saying Jetta, station wagon, brown, and stick shift. So they came up with some special edition that nobody bought. Like, I think like one or 2 sales. And the idea is that people like to fantasize about what they would like if they could, or if they have unlimited money. But the reality is that, it's just a fantasy for most. And stick shift car has this appeal that it's cooler to know how to drive a stick. And a lot of guys don't.
But it's like $1,700 cheaper.
No.
And yet they're like, well, I can finance it, so I'm gonna buy the A10 because if I spend more money, it's a better car.
I could have bought the stick shift Camaro, the 6 when I bought it in 14. I went with the automatic, but I had an injury at the time and I wasn't sure. And my leg sometimes cuts out. And what if I get stuck in traffic? I can't put it in gear.
Yeah.
And but that's how many people have that excuse. And not to mention, I still have a stick shift car. I got 2 of them. So
there you go. That a boy.
Got the Scat Pack and the bus. But that's it.
Yeah, this is a good question. Derp, you going to be interested in that collector's edition?
No.
Why?
I already have a car that I built so far exterior-wise how I want it, inside and out. So I'm not going to redo all that crap on a car that's going to give me a couple new emblems and stickers. And they'll probably be gaudy and ugly and chrome looking or something.
I think this is going to be a ZL1 1LE replacement. I think this is going to be this is why they're stopped taking orders for the 1LEs. And
they did?
Yeah.
Well, there goes that idea. So I guess either that or the SS.
Yeah. So they've stopped taking orders for the ZL1 1LEs. Well, they've slowed them down. They're just putting them in hold status. So I don't know if they're going to come back and be like, well, this is the collector's edition. You got first dibs or whatever. But that's what I think they're going to be doing. I don't exactly know. The fact that they are billions in a deficit and they're scrounging for money is kind of throwing me off on everything. So it's gonna be, how much is this collector's edition gonna cost? You know what I'm saying? Just the package alone. Like, what's the car going to be? Is there going to be markups? Are you going to be fighting for hell to get one? Is there going to be limited quantities? Is Dodge owners going to spill over and start buying these things? You don't know. I mean,
that's only going to only increase the competition to get an allocation.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah. and then when the competition goes up, so is priced.
And the problem is that the orders will close before the Dark Horse comes out.
Dark Horse is already out, I thought.
Not yet. No? At least that's what I know. I don't think it's out yet. But I think a lot of people are going to be like, I want it now. We already live in an instant gratification society. Yeah. So there's going to be markups on the ZL1s and the special edition.
Yeah. I mean, I had to pay $5,000 over for my car.
Yeah, that's.
Jesus M says, hopefully they'll make about 10,000 cars.
Yeah.
I hope so too, dude. I really hope that this is just like a sticker package with like a special color, and that's it. You'll get a piece of paper with the car and saying, indemnifying that this is GM official, blah, 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 go have fun. And
it'll be marked in the on your VIN probably, so that maybe they collect. Maybe they'll have some kind of VIN annotation or something like that to make it.
It could be
verified or something like that.
Plaque like Dodge.
Yeah, I hope not.
Well, you see, the problem is I didn't realize that GM was that much in the hole with that.
GM. Well, I mean, as soon as everybody's been giving themselves raises, and they've been doing a bunch of stupid, dumb shit at the top.
Oh, wow.
Everybody, yeah. Jay, USA Pure Power says, says, I placed 3 orders January 2022, still waiting for an allocation on a Camaro ZL1 1 Elite. I know. I've got one floating out there. I might go put out a couple. I don't know, man. I'm on the fence. I want to get as many of them in production or as made as possible. That way we have them down the road, and I wish others would do the same. But
don't worry about that. The allocations, they're going to get dried up, even if you put in multiple orders or not.
I'm kind of just done with the brand as a whole too, So since then, I placed the order for a 2023 Hellcat Red-Eye White Body. Order was accepted. Oh, so I got called 2 months ago and said no go. Everything, pretty much all the red eyes, everything with that 2650 blower done.
I can't even find a Scat Pack within like 100 miles.
Really?
And I mean a wide body Scat Pack. I can still find a straggling narrow body, which is what I want next.
Yeah.
But USA Pure Power, what code? Did they give you the code yet? Like if it's a BG, BX, or if you see status? This is a Dodge thing, internal.
For the jailbreak?
Yeah. So January 6th, you're probably going to get it in about 2 months. Maybe 3. When the car is going to get delivered.
What do you like to know? Says I'd have to hit the Powerball for me to consider collecting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be that much money. I don't see it exceeding $90,000. I just don't.
Collector's edition.
That's a lot of money for a Camaro.
It's probably going to be like $3,000 package. My guess.
I paid $77 for mine, and I didn't even get a 1LE.
The 1LE is not that expensive.
Reach around. Oh, we got to reach around with it.
Oh no!
You gonna reach around with it?
No. When I was building up my ZL1 dream car, I didn't go with the 1LE. I didn't want the 1LE because there were a couple of little things here that I was like, the spoiler. It's just too Fast and the Furious for me. I wanted something a little more subtle. I wanted a softer ride, not kidney jarring, track car. But then at the other, on the other end, I know that the 1LE is going to be the big bucks down the road, and it's kind of my thing. I love cars, and I want to keep them forever, as most of you guys know. But if I get into a bind, I want to be able to at least have some equity in at least one or two of them, like a car-shaped parachute, if you will.
Jesus Sam, do you guys think GM should hear people? Yes. Input of design, outside and interior, horsepower and torque. Yes, I do.
What people?
Me.
Just, well, yeah, that's the part. Because if it's like
subscribe and ring the bell, motherfucker. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you exactly what I think it should be. But yeah, I think they should at least have like some contest or some input or some way for them to get a message conveyed to them. Yeah, I do really.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
No
contest.
Yeah,
but the problem is that
they used to do it back in the day.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a very incestuous relationship because the contest winner, somebody that can pen out a nice design, will be either a Chip Foose or somebody that's already in the car world. And it won't be more grassroots. There has to be a way to weed out people that, and I'm not saying this because I would like to win a contest like that, right? But there's a lot of great artists out there, designers and car guys, that are not necessarily former design chief at Honda, that he wins this and, Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting idea.
JUSA Pure Power, my local Ford dealership called me with the 2024 Mustang Dark Horse allocation. Placed the order 2.5 weeks ago, and then he later on said Ford accepted the order 2 days later.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not going to be long before these Dark Horses are hitting the street if they haven't already. He did say his Dodge is at D status, whatever that means.
Okay, that means it's about ready to be shipped. So you're looking at 2 weeks. It's built. Yeah, D-Status is built. It's done. It passed quality control. It's probably in New Berlin in Michigan on a D-Status. So get ready. Oh, you're going to love it, man. There is that raw acceleration you get with the red eye. Although you get top speed out of because this is a jailbreak, so you get the 807 horsepower, like 210 miles an hour top speed. That is insane.
Yeah. Tracy came up with a good idea. Actually get feedback from people that are buying the vehicle. Because that's most of your whiners and criers online is people that I'm just convinced that they had no intention to even buy this car or purchase it or have any kind of involvement whatsoever. They just get on and everybody just regurgitates everything that they hate about everything or something that annoys them, and away we go.
Well, yeah, that's there's a lot of that attitude in general. I don't think even related to cars. You see it in power tools and video games. It's all the negative stuff. Yeah. And that leaves a company it's like, okay, I know what they don't like.
Yeah.
What do you guys like?
Right.
So, and that's something that I'm just one guy on the internet, but I like the analog gauges a lot. I don't want the screen in front of me. I want the minimal type of screen possible.
Love about Dodge and GM.
Yeah.
And Camaro.
They didn't mess with the dashboard. It's a simple looking layout. Buttons. Everything is button redundant. I don't need to beep, 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 boop, 15 screens. Yep. The performance pages suck. They take forever, and that goes to a satellite. So when Dodge decides 10 years on the road, no more performance pages, you're out. Whereas at least the Camaro, you still have the I don't know if the 6th gen has the gauge pack like the 5th gen did. At the top of your center console, you had 4 gauges, oil temp, trans temp, and all that.
No, they're in the center gauge.
So it's also digital?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. The only thing we have analog is speedometer and RPM. But if you go down to like the LT1, I believe no, they're digital too. This just you get fewer of them.
Well, if you get the low end gauge cluster, you get
Is it all needles?
It's 2 needles at the top. It's
like
but
are they analog or are they digital?
Analog, but it's like
are they?
It's like a gas gauge and like a volt gauge or something like that. It's nothing like nothing fancy.
No, yeah.
I would have even replaced those. Just give me a trans temp, give me engine oil or air intake temperature, something that's
I run Banks gauges off my pillar, my A pillar.
Yeah,
those just read off an ODB too, so it's not like.
But at least it's off of the ODB and not going to a satellite like the performance.
Yeah. So I show like trans oil temp, trans temp, a few other things. I can't remember. I have like 10 different things displayed: intake manifold temp, oil pressure.
Jesus Sam says what colors are excellent for the Camaro? I'm with dirt. Satin steel. Satin steel was highly on my radar until they stopped making it. Was your year the last year for it? I think it was.
I think so. I think I replaced with like that shark
skin. Yeah.
Gray or whatever.
Shark skin metallic, yeah. I like the Orange Crush. Black is by far the most heavily made color as far as like Camaro goes. Period. There it is.
Red Rock Metallic.
I knew it was coming.
Whatever they call it nowadays, the new one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But it has a more brown to it than the Dodge one. Dodge is more red heavy on the metallic red.
It might be Radiant Red or Vibrant Red.
Yeah. Radiant Red.
Well, I mean, they've had Garnet Red, then they had Wild Cherry.
Wild Cherry.
And then it's been quite. I mean, it's almost identical to the same color, but it's been a couple different things. So
yeah, but it's still, I think, the best metallic red ever made.
I think they look good. I think honestly, just plain white looks good too. I love a white Z01. I
don't know. Maybe it's me. I have a problem with white cars.
Oh man, I love it.
I never had a white car ever, and I don't plan on having a white car.
I think the 1LE, white 1LE looks pretty good because it has that enough black accent to not matte be black. Like a blob, like a big marshmallow or something.
Yeah, matte black, satin black.
With the hood wrap.
I have a white vehicle.
That Rally Green was pretty cool too. Yeah.
Kryptonite. What is that? The Kryptonite green.
Krypton.
Really
the Krypton. Krypton's my favorite. That was my favorite green. I also like the Shock. That was cool. I think a lot of those colors are going to be coming up, but a lot of those cool colors they made in 17 and 18, and then you know what I'm saying. But then after 19 and up, that's when we got all the good upgrades like the tune and ECU and the freaking
mirror camera.
Yeah, the mirror camera.
Better infotainment center.
Well, they just fixed problems like the oil pump and just they updated a lot of stuff, fixed a lot of stuff, and but yeah. Riverside Blue is, dude, I'm glad you brought that up, Mike, because I do a lot of polls every day.
Yes.
And yeah.
Synergy Green.
Synergy Green was awesome, but it was 5th gen.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a buddy of
Glacier
mine
Blue. Was it Tracy? Was that Glacier or was that Arctic? I cannot remember.
Blue. There was an Arctic blue.
Was it Arctic
blue?
Blue?
It was like a silvery blue or something like that.
Yeah, it was very, very light, but it was cool.
I don't remember a Glacier Blue unless that's like a 5th gen color.
Could have been. Yeah, I don't know.
But for 6th gen, I think it was Arctic Blue, but it's like a silver with a blue reflective color or something like that in the light or whatever.
I like the yellow. I like the yellow one that they made in 18.
The only problem with the yellow is that it's Bumblebee stuff. Enough with the Bumblebee. Oh
if you get yellow, you have to put the Transformer freaking emblem on there, man.
No, it's like will not happen.
It is so cringy at this point. The Bumblebee.
No. Yeah.
And you got Optimus Prime Rust. Yeah.
I mean,
Optimus Brown.
Optimus Slime.
Optimus Brown. Rust Brown.
Yeah.
They should have cool colors for name like dirt. What color's your car? It's dirt.
That's one thing did.
Dodge does that. Dodge does these stupid colors. And there were a couple of them that were like, today's standards, they can't use them anymore. Like
what color's your car? It's Mr. Hanky.
I have a Sublime. I have a Go Man Go, and then there's a regular that's black. Like, really?
Yeah. But I mean, they made cool names like Smoke Show or Destroyer Gray or Cinnamon Stick. I mean, they did all the cool names.
And they spell cinnamon with an S, like sin.
Yeah.
There's a lot of double entendres with the names.
Yeah, there was. They made a yellow one, 2018 only. And it was a cool shade of yellow, too. They called it bright yellow. And I thought it looked great. I mean, it's right up there with the bright, vibrant color like, Rapid Blue or a white or... Yeah, the Nightfall Gray, that was... It just had too much blue. It just had too much bluish green look. But it was pretty cool. Or wait a minute, I'm sorry, no. Nightfall Gray. No, okay. Nightfall Gray, I remember Nightfall Gray. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. That was a cool color. That was a really cool color.
Sassy Grass.
Is that Dodge?
Yeah, they had Citron Curious.
Yeah. No. But
I'm trying to look them up right now, and some of the words I can't say. Oh, Pink Panther.
Shadow Gray. Yep. Yeah, you're right. Nightfall Gray was awesome, though. It had a very dark side tone to it. Like, it was really silvery on the face, and it had a dark side tone. But, I mean, all the cool colors, like, they bang, 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 bang. They just knocked them out in 17 and 18. And then 19, when they did the refresh, the colors, they just... I mean, we got updated colors, but they stuck for, 2-3 years. So, but yeah.
Well, that's a sign that it's towards the end,
What?
The color palette. When they stop changing them, that's the end of the run, right, for the model. So that's kind of to be expected.
That's gonna be the collector's edition. They're just gonna have whatever random color they have. They're just gonna dump them all together, mix them up, and spray the cars. Brown. Every car will be different colors.
Brown.
It's just 5 colors poured into a pot, and they spray your car off. There's your colors, collectors.
Shit,
they have brown.
Silver.
I think.
I got a brown car. I don't mind. There's brown and there's brown. Like Volkswagen brown.
I believe was the last year for was that right, Dirk? Wild Cherry. 2021 was the last year for Wild Cherry, wasn't it? Radiant
I want to
Red
say it ran half of 2022.
Did it? Did they switch mid-year?
Because my buddy was ordering a Wild Cherry, and he ordered it in 2022, but then they contacted him and said they're no longer running it. They stopped the color early or something, and he had to change his color.
There was some kind of hiccup.
He was initially able to order it, and then they told him like a week later, like, hey, change your color because they're not doing Wild Cherry anymore.
Wasn't there some kind of production issue or constraint?
I don't know if that or they just didn't want to ran out of the color and didn't want to make any more or something. So he had to switch to like orange or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues with the quarter panels, rock chips on the quarter panels, paint being really thin on the front, on the forward-facing surfaces?
No, they came OEM with the on the lower by the style line on the door. Yeah, well, I'm gonna call it the dog leg, but not a lot of people know terminology for body. But it's like right in front of the rear tire, the lower portion. Every car came with a piece of that 3M film, really thin, but it was that 3M film.
On the 5th gen, it was thick. Like you feel it. At first I thought it was a crack in the body. I'm like, what happened there? And there was just a little bit of dirt on the edge of the film.
That's why, and everybody was like complaining on the 5th gen too, because the angle for the quarter panel came to the door and the paint didn't match. Like you would see the colors, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't have that issue. Well, see, on mine, I had really thin paint, like every other 5th gen, like incredibly thin paint. But I hit a wild boar. Yes, we have those in New York. And I think I could release the footage by now because they told me not to show it because investigation on that. But yeah, so I had to get the nose painted. And then somebody put their thumb under the clear coat, so they had to blend further, to the point where the whole car had to be repainted. So yeah, there's one body shop in Jersey that just did a piss poor job. They had the car for 6 months.
There's a lot of those. There's a lot of those, dude.
And they're responsible for me falling in love with the new Challengers because I got a rental car. It was around 14 or 15. And I had it for 6 months. And I'm like, you know, I like this car.
6 month rental car, man. That's it's practically your car at that point.
Yeah. That's a bill. Dude, that's gonna be a bill, dude.
Well, hey, they paid for it because, you know, they kept screwing up. The thumbprint under the clear coat, I'm not taking that back. So I would go there. I was like, nope, you're doing it again. And that's how it's. Funny enough, that's also why I got into the new Camaros, because I had my car. We had Hurricane Sandy. My car was in the shop for minor fender bender. Somebody super backed up into me, and I had it for 3 weeks. Camaro V6 RS package, whatever, silver, and I was like, "Ooh, this thing handles." I'm like, that's it.
Tracy says, yeah, there was a guy in Florida who had that color in front of me, and they run out. Stop the color.
Which color is that?
Is he talking about the wild cherry?
Wild cherry was NyQuil red.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean that's what it looks like. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I don't know why that makes me laugh right now. I'm like,
yeah, it's
NyQuil red.
I can't remember something about that wild cherry, the stop production, but yeah.
He said they just ran out. Maybe they just more people ordered it than they expected, and they just didn't.
But that was a rare color.
No, I think pretty much the Camaro gets hand-me-downs from the Corvette, and I think that they weren't gonna continue. Yeah. So whatever the Corvette gets is pretty much just a rundown. So I think they usually have like 3 vibrant colors that they run that cost extra. I think it's like $400 upcharge, and I believe. What was it? It was Radiant Red, Vibrant Red, whatever that was. And then they had Rapid Blue. I believe my shop, even my Crush, I think was a upcharge color. But
that was the red. GM reds are really nice in the sun. Like
yeah.
I cannot read that. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, it says, wouldn't you like to know it's pretty in the sun? My wife described it as that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all the risks. My Red Rock Metallic, the same, was phenomenal in the sun. In the shade, it looked like it was brown.
Here you go, Dirt.
There you go.
Sam, it says, can you show us the future designs that you liked?
Are you able to bring them up on this big screen or whatever?
I can't.
No.
Do your thing again.
I can't.
Oh, you want me to put them in the background?
Yeah, you have to put them in the background, bud.
Where's that MS Paint artwork, man?
Let's see here. Oh, you want the future designs, all right?
So my thing is like, what do you think that this new car is going to have to be if we do get a 7th gen?
It's gonna be this bad boy.
4-door.
It's gonna be a 4-door
EV
crossover.
Do you truly believe that they're going to make a 4-door EV?
Bite your tongue.
I have a feeling they may very well, or it might be a 4-door sedan versus like a full crossover, because they don't sell enough coupes. People just don't buy freaking coupes, and then
everybody. Well, I mean, the trucks and SUVs. That's what everybody buys.
Well, the problem is that they're competing against Hyundais now. Like I don't know how you say that name. Veloster. I don't care to learn it. You know that thing. See it, Trace. There's a lot of competition. BMW, M, whatever the hell they're calling the M's now, because they're changing. It used to be an M3, now it's an M4, the 2-door, which makes no sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
Mercedes has all the CLKs, whatever they're calling them now, because I'm not in touch with that anymore. But there's a lot of options out there for a V8 rear-wheel drive car that are not American, which is weird. I don't think so. I think that's part of the reason why GM is not releasing anything as far as press releases, because I think they're backing out hard of the EV market. There's too many indicators that the EV market is collapsing big time, and most of it's starting out of China. I covered this a while, like months ago.
I've told them from the beginning, it's a dead technology.
Yeah. And not only that, but we were suckered into it, believing that, look at all the sales China has. They're selling 10,000 cars a month. And you know where those cars end up? In forests. In construction. There's a guy that's suing the CCP because there's like 500 cars on his construction site, and he needs to build a building, and he can't because there's brand new EVs parked there. You know, with the wrapper and all that still on them. Now they got flat tires and trucks, buses. Nobody wants them. Nobody's buying them.
I've said it. I kind of want to say I've said it from the beginning, but I'm telling you, like Chevy Bolt, that's like top. That's it. That's where the EV tops out at. That's where it should top.
Exactly. Like not the Bolt. Not the Bolt was a Spark. Oh my God, the Spark. Spark was gasoline, but the Bolt was
electric. They had the Bolt, then they had the
Volt. Yeah. The Volt was interesting because it wasn't like you didn't need to replace batteries. It was just a gas engine running a generator.
It's the new Prius. It's the Prius equivalent. That's the top of the line for EV. I don't understand why they keep trying to push this. It's not.
Ooh, I like it. Daddy likey.
Oh, this one.
Oh yeah.
This one he said he thought was. This is one that said it was horrible looking. He's like,
I like the nose. The rear is kind of weird.
Yeah, I thought you said this one was hideous or something like that.
No, I mean
I don't.
Not the red.
There's only a couple that I do like.
I don't care for the red in the front so much.
That'd be RGB. That'd be fully. You can change that color to whatever color you like.
It reminds me of the old Mercuries that had the headlight across the nose, the Grand Marquis and Sable and all that. I thought, okay, when I was a kid, I wanted my parents to buy a Sable wagon.
Yeah.
In like 85 or something. I thought that was the coolest car ever. Look at that front headlight. It was like Batman. The Tim Burton Batman. Or whichever one came out. Right. Yeah. So, I don't know. I kind of like that whole light across the nose. And
when it came out like that, I asked for it for like a more LED grill lighting and stuff like that. And so when I rendered it, it rendered me that. I actually did a cross also between a first and a sixth gen. And it spit out some freaking mutant looking thing. Let's see if I can find what I would. Was this it?
I got to learn how to do that too. Swap camera inputs to put up some drawings, like while we're talking now. Or maybe I can send it to you, Andrew, and you can post them up.
Like everything Derp's doing it's done on.
Yeah, I know on his end. But if I send you a file, can you open up a JPEG and show it on screen like you did with the videos, or how does that work?
I'd have to make a video. StreamYard's it's finicky, man.
Okay.
It's real finicky. But you think it wouldn't because it's the easiest to use, but it's like it's just
check this one out. This is a
Is this the first gen Camaro. And 6th gen? That's what I'm waiting.
No, this was a Camaro blended with a 4th gen Trans Am. Oh, it moved it off the screen for some reason. What the heck is it doing? Let me try it again. This whole background thing is kind of wonky.
That is one interesting nose.
Is it rendering it right? It's doing something weird here.
No.
Yeah, it took the WS6.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And kind of smushed it in and then stuck it on a super long 5th gen, it looks like. Yeah, look at the background. Look at the cars in the background. They're all mutated blobs. It didn't know what to do with them, so it just rendered random stuff. I'm not sure what I did with that. Maybe I did with that.
That is kind of freaky though, how that can do that on the fly like that. You know
what GM needs to do is to bring back the 3rd gen headlight recess with the black surrounding them. Put that so no more grill between the headlights. You got enough of the.
I'm gonna say this right now. You guys see a lot of these floating around on YouTube, and I think most of them you did, didn't you, Dirt?
Yeah, probably.
This one's he looks sad. It's like
I actually don't mind that one.
It looks like Droopy the dog. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
I don't know why it keeps throwing it off screen. It's not lining up. But anyways, this was the 1st and the 6th gen blend.
Yeah, that looks like something you'd see at SEMA.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then I took that and I blended a modern futuristic version based off of the 1st and 6th gen blending. If I can find what I did with it, I think that's actually what gave me that crazy looking one with the red grill.
What was the one with the thumbnail?
Oh, that was a 5th gen, I believe. Actually, what was that?
Because it had a 6th gen top roof.
Yeah, that's 5th all the way there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a 5th gen Z28. I think this one was rendered off of a Z28, blended with some like wonky lighting and stuff. I like how they did the wheels though. The wheels rendered out really cool.
Count.
Yeah. After the rear control arms, I'm going to put the ELSD in. I think what I'm going to do, where I'm at right now is I'm at a hinging point to fuel. The direct injection I'm maxed out on, and about 700 wheels about where you're going to max that DI system out at. Now,
what's the diameter of the fuel lines?
I'm not sure. I think they might be 3/8 ID.
Okay.
But
go for the 1 inch.
Well, the issue is the pump. I believe the high pressure pump is
all of it.
Factor.
The injectors are too small. The pump doesn't pump enough. The low side doesn't have enough oomph to get it to the high side.
Yeah, but the low side is cheap to upgrade. Well, cheapish, and then the hoses are cheap. But the issue is, I think they don't really make much higher flowing of a high pressure.
So if I go that route, I'm kind of screwing myself in the end as far as like
standalone. You have to go standalone or big cam.
Well, I think I'm gonna, I might be able to get to like crank 1,000 horsepower, or maybe 1,100 horsepower, and then that's gonna be it. But if I stack it up with the port injection, then I'm pretty much golden to go up to 1,500 wheel. Here's my problem.
Can't even drive it on the street. It'd be a race car at that point.
Well, I'd love to find out.
I know a guy that's got a 2,000 horsepower Trackhawk. So
but all-wheel drive a little bit easier to street that.
See, what worries me about all-wheel drive is, okay, we all talk about differentials, handling it, the half axles, and all that. What about that front side? It's smaller. Everything's smaller diameter. I don't know how that handles, over time, because this is not a car he commutes with, right? He just brings it to car shows. So I'm curious to see what happens to those things after 10,000 miles. And I don't think they fare very well.
No, nothing's getting
anything like that. They're rebuilding tons of stuff on those things, probably dropping tens of thousands of dollars in a year.
Well, I mean, I'm at 6,200 miles, and I've already got to the point where I need to pull my spark plugs out and change them. Because I mean, once you start making like serious power, it's everything. It's hard on everything. So my thing is I can do the port injection. I can stack it on top of the DI, and that's going to give me plenty of fuel. It's $10,000 for
how
fuel.
Much are the parts?
7,000. It's going to be about 2,500 to put them in, and then I'm going to have.
Here's an idea: get yourself a totaled out Hellcat. Get the fuel system from that. Put that in yours. 2 dual fuel pumps, dual fuel lines. One's DI, one's port, and then sell the rest of the stuff. Sell the engine minus injectors.
I see the only problem with that.
You gotta have where to keep it.
4 innovations makes a kit that you can.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier, but
probably a Dominator.
But now it gets messy.
Because if you take something off of like the Dodge and slap it in there, you're not gonna be able. Nobody's gonna be able to tune it. I mean, most of the cost of the kits is having that standalone, like the Dominator, Holly Dominator, that wires into the ECU, and they program that tune
piggyback.
And then that's the only way they can run.
So that's kind of where I'm at. Is I kind of want to go the port injection, but I just like.
Yeah, that is a tough question because
I'm not getting rich off of YouTube. So it's
Don't worry about it.
We'll have to see. I'll keep feeding the piggy bank. I really want to go the port injection route, but I'm kind of every day I'm kind of looking around for like a workaround. If I go heads and cam, now the cam does come with a more aggressive lobe that will put the high side pump in overdrive, but still you're limited to the injector size and the low side pressure. So
yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Run the triple pump low side, or and then they go.
Yep, that's
with
the 4
bigger injectors. Then they go a 38-degree fuel lobe cam, and then they go.
But if I buy that port injection kit, it's over. Like I don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but if you're pushing, like let's say you go for 1,000, you have to open up the engine anyways because most of the people get rid of the DOD. Delete stuff.
Oh yeah,
titanium.
Change the lifters.
Pieces. So if you already do all that, you might as well just do the cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And once I crack the motor open, it's heads and cam.
So now you're looking at $10,000 for the port injection plus another $10,000 for all the engine stuff.
Well, I did a.
That's the rabbit hole.
I did a poll, and it's by far everybody wanted to see how far you could push a stock LT4 without cracking the motor. So that was kind of my thing, was how much shit can I bolt to it and how much stuff can I put in overdrive? What's the max limit on the stock LT4 before you either run out of potential or you start breaking stuff? So, I mean, so far it's crazy how far you can push that little stock motor. So
what did I mess?
The internals
I did. I already do.
1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
I mean,
what do you get out of it on this?
What?
Stock.
880, 800. Well, I mean, I did the math, and if it's like 20% parasitic drivetrain loss, it's like 882 horsepower crank is what I'm at right now. So it's yeah. So I mean, if I can get up to 1,000, I think that would be pretty. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the limit is. If I put the port injection on, it's like, man, I still got a lower pulley to do. I got the 103 to do. I got a 5-inch intake to do. It's like, how much are you going to gain from that, even if you have unlimited fuel on E85? So
on your stock blower, you're saying?
Yeah.
You're definitely going to want to swap out the bricks. You're going to put like an inner chiller setup on there because once you start adding extra pulleys on there, you're going to
that's
a supercharger.
Yeah.
One thing that the Dodge does that's nice, that chiller function where it routes your air conditioning to your to the compressor.
Theoretically, I've heard that. I love that inner chiller idea. I've heard of them quit working and then the motor doesn't know that it stopped working, and then it doesn't pull timing out of the motor, and then it freaking melts everything down. But I haven't heard Dodge having any problems, but I have heard
you like for the Camaro, if you're adding it on as an aftermarket, you don't worry. I wouldn't have them tune with it in mind. I would just use it as an extra to keep your motor, your supercharger cool down.
Yeah.
So you can run more without getting power cut because you're overheating your supercharger because you're already spinning at 27,000 RPM. That's before you add pulleys to it.
Right.
You add pulleys now you're 30,000 plus.
Yeah, you can go up to like 32 or it's almost 40,000.
You'll be like, let's say you do a roll race.
Insane.
You do roll races, your thing's already freaking. You have to do a cool down. So every time you do like 2 minutes of driving, racing, it's a cool down.
Yeah.
Or you can get like the ice tank, the trunk.
Yeah, that's my next.
Ice in there.
That's my next move. I think I want to go twin turbo, but I got to get this fuel issue fixed first.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. I was like, if I do go with extra, it's probably going to be twin turbo just because it's more rare. Plus, it's not as hard on your drivetrain than say.
I just hate how they sound.
Horsepower.
They sound so freaking weird. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love the sound of my WRX with a good blow off valve or something like that. Every time the thing shifts, it's like, got that jet air going.
Yeah,
that still bugs me. The blow off valve, like you're not supposed to hear it though, isn't that?
Yeah.
But I hear like
if it's a bypass valve or if it's a blow off valve, if it's MAP or MAP.
Yes, I mean I'm thinking old school type superchargers where if you hear the blow off valve, like you went too far, you should have shifted earlier, and that's it, right?
Well, for the turbo, it's when you shift, it releases that pressure versus. That pressure going in and blowing your freaking seals and stuff.
Yeah,
so
lifting the head.
It has that excess pressure. It blows out the block.
Okay. Let's see, I didn't know that.
Supercharged is a little bit different. So if you're spraying stuff off, then you're something's wrong probably because you're bleeding. Pressure.
I don't know if I like the power curve of a turbo either. Like it's.
This is all. Do you want? That's my thing. Is if you're saying, say you want 1,000 horsepower and you're supercharged 1,000 horsepower right off the line, you're not going to get traction unless you're rolling a 15-inch drag pack, super sticky tires, and
that's why I'm going to that. So you're that bigger differential
and the adjustability. Let's say you just want to do a grocery run with a turbo setup. You're going to say, I'm going to turn my, I'm going to do boost level, my low boost level. Drive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm going to do some roll race. I'm going to have that bad boy turned up to 13 pounds, and now you're going crazy. Versus supercharger, well, you got to go pull your pulley, swap the belt. Okay, now I'm running low power.
I'll be honest.
We're getting ready to race. I'm going to go change my belt, my pulley, or I'm good. 30 minutes later.
I'll be honest with you. Stomping on the gas and having everybody within a 3-mile radius be like, he's right there. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm digging that either because...
And the supercharger wine is awesome. I mean,
supercharger wine is phenomenal. I thought it would get old after it. Dude, it's amazing.
Have you heard the Challenger ones? The 2.8 liter, that big honking...
Yeah.
That sound is like, woof. It's loud enough to where even the exhaust it won't cover it up, So
IHI did a very, very good job on just Hellcat superchargers in general.
Well, if you're between them, why not just go Pro Charger? It's kind of a happy medium.
I don't.
Man, a good Pro Charger setup sounds.
They make a lot of power, but
really
that's the attitude I kind of have to like Pro Charger.
All your power's up top. I mean, you got way more options with twin turbo. You could do sequential.
Pro Charger is kind of cheaper than twin turbo. I saw a guy actually at a car thing I went to. I follow him on Instagram. I think he follows me as well. He's got a big Pro Charger set up on a 5.0 Mustang, and man, when he's driving through, just driving, not the exhaust, but the sound of the Pro Charger, everybody turns their head to look at that thing because it sounds so freaking good. I mean, that whine from that Pro Charger just sounds crazy. Oh, it's super freaking loud. It's big though. It's Pro Charger like it's like this.
Yeah, that's actually an issue with the Camaros, especially the 6th gen. It's smaller, because I was thinking at one point doing a twin turbo setup on the LFX, right? Because it's impossible to do a V8 swap, like the different chassis each car, right? So, there was one lunatic on the Camaro 5 forums that he did a V8 swap from a V6, spent like $50K on it, but the routing of the pipes is like beyond difficult, and I can imagine it's only going to be worse because you don't have that weird, funky mono header thing that the LFX has, right? Yeah. So you got full headers that takes up space. They're gonna. I don't know how you would route a Pro Charger.
I've seen a couple Pro Chargers on the Camaro. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not horrible.
Yeah, it's easy. They make a kit. You can do it at home.
It's easier to install the Pro Charger than it is the twin turbos by far. I've seen people say,
no, Pro Charger. I meant to say twin turbos.
If I was going to say supercharger, I'm doing a 2650.
Yeah,
it's roots. The cooling is amazing on them.
Oh yeah.
The power.
Everybody has a 2650. That's why if I do it, I'll probably do twin turbo and I'll do the full install myself, and I'll have videos.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Only thing I'm not going to do. Is the cam. That's the only thing I'm not going to do. I just don't feel like trying to pull the motor in my garage.
Yeah.
And
do you have to pull the motor, or can you just take the nose off and take the upper radius? Or
it's better.
I'd probably do that because I don't like pulling motors when there's like a whole nose of the car.
Well, I'll say everything I've seen, about 90-something% of the people, shops, and everybody pulls the motor for cam on the LT1, LT2.
Well, they got a lift so they can drop it the whole cradle. I'm also thinking the older cars too, where it ain't coming from the bottom; it's coming from the top, and
it's just a clearance. Yeah, you pull the whole front, the frame, it's just a bunch of the stuff to get to it, and then they say a lot of times you're doing the cam, you also want to do all your valve train stuff, and since at that point you're going to do the oil pump as well with the Keltec or K-Tech, whatever it's called. And then at that point, like, you might as well just have the dang whole motor out because trying to maneuver through all that stuff is just a nightmare, and you'll take twice as long to do it.
It's hard on your back, and a lot more.
And if you got big hands,
well, your window of exposure, scratching stuff in the car is a lot because you're in and out, you know what I mean. So it's just like pull the motor out, do what you got to do, put the damn thing back.
That's
in.
That's why, like I said, if I do that, I'll probably have a shop, do the cam, do the valve train stuff, do the oil pump, all the stuff that. Yeah, especially all the stuff that because all the AFM related stuff is.
I'm gonna tell you what, dude.
Even though it's tuned off, they say get rid of all that stuff.
Yep, the push rod motors. People that have the ratios, the cam grind, the heads, the what head or milled out of what, or they have all these combinations figured out. That's what you really pay for in these shops.
Yeah, oh yeah,
so
know how.
You just write a check and you're gonna get the winning recipe right out of the box. So it's very smart.
They have all the stuff there. They know I could do it. Yeah, it will take me literally 6 times longer to figure it out, and then I have a higher chance of messing something up.
Yes,
a lot of shops will give you a warranty as well, like a good one.
Some of them.
I'll drop my 10 millimeter, will go inside the motor, and I put everything back together. I'm like, I'm missing something. I'm like, I'll start it up. Yeah. Boom. You're like, I'll finish it. And I'll have 2 bolts left over. I'm like, well, I guess
I knew.
Wait.
That's what's tempting about the Hennessy guys. I'm like,
Well, I go to a good, well-respected local shop versus paying the Hennessy premium. Just you pay an extra 25% for the name, pretty much.
True.
And I've heard a lot of horror stories with their stuff. I can't personally vet it, but I've heard a lot of horror stories of just issues or.
Once you get into the performance world, it's like
there's always going to be that's the problem. Like the horror stories I've heard.
Yeah.
I take it with a grain of salt because I catch myself sometimes, like they do something that's like wrong, and now you're like. It's 5% wrong, but you're raging because they messed it up. So you write a terrible review, you tell all your friends, this place is terrible, And it's like, wait, what did they do? They didn't put that, they took away my wrappers from the seats, like with my car, right? I wanted to keep they took it away. Whatever. You know what? It is what it is. I'm not going to rage over that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I've seen people that will get all pissed off because, there was a problem. It didn't make enough horsepower. You said it was going to do this. Now it's like 20 horsepower shy. I'm like, well, that's the way it works. You got to tune it, let it break in and all that. But they start going on the forum, start posting, and next thing you know, after 5 iterations of the story, we hear it. So I don't know about Hennessy, if it's like horror stories or.
I think the main issue is just people say you don't get the value out of it. So you can go to, let's say, a well-respected local like Houston House of Power, whatever it is, and get like $20,000 package that's going to give you a perfect setup, or you go Hennessy and pay for that same package $40,000. Is it worth it? Hey, if you just want the name,
it 40?
Because I can't say it. It's like I would say it's 50% more than most other shops. And a lot of that is you're paying for the name, you're paying for
have a good night, Mike.
Package. Like the Exorcist,
good to see
Void Bringer, Shadow Breaker 9000 edition, so hey.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm also trying to think of like, okay, if I'm going to get something, I also, at least now, because I'm kind of broke and I'm scared of the future, I want something that's not going to be a huge negative to the car. Because if I go to my Bubba J, whatever.
Anything you do is going to be a negative.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think a Hennessy that's well kept and you maintain it and it's not beat on, I think those might go up in value. Well, I don't know.
For that question, for the AFM, it's all tuned out on the ZL1. So even with the A10, there is no AFM. It doesn't kick on, but the components mechanically are still there. So they are a weak link of your motor. Later on, that could become a failure point. That's why a lot of people, when they upgrade or they do the cam,
I thought the automatic had the AFM.
Not on the ZL1s. Nope, no AFM.
Really?
Nothing. So you don't go to V8, V4 mode. You do any of that stuff. None of that stuff. It's there.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, he's talking about the AFM valves in the exhaust, where it makes it louder. Valves? Yeah,
is that called it?
I was saying the active fuel management.
Yeah, that's active fuel management.
Oh, I thought they called that
6.8.
That's a 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder mode for
displacement on demand. That's what I thought they called that.
Yeah, but it's like active fuel AFM or something like that.
It used to be called AFM.
Shit.
It used to be during the 5th gen. That's what now I remember. AFM was the
They all come with it.
Now it's called the DOD, the displacement on demand.
Yeah,
the newer stuff. It used to be
all
called
have it.
It used to be called 468 back in like 81.
But if you go like an SS and you're driving, you'll see it go from 4-cylinder mode. You'll see it go to 8-cylinder mode, all that stuff. And the ZL1, the auto, it doesn't. It's turned off in the tune, but mechanically, it's the parts.
The guts are there, but
yeah, the lifters, those stupid lifters are still there.
Yeah,
but even the stick shift cars, they have that what is it, 2 to 5 shift. That sometimes it forces you, it locks out third gear, fourth gear.
Oh, that's manual. Yeah, that's the ZL1s. Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Everybody goes with the skip shift delete or whatever they call it, so they just delete that. Yeah. But
well,
no, with the ZL1s, the AFM is completely disabled in the tune. But a lot of people, like I was saying, if you're pulling the engine apart and you're doing the cam, most people most shops say get rid of the AFM related stuff, get rid of the DoD stuff, get the DoD deleted cam to go with it, and then you get rid of all that stuff because that's just failure points that you want to get rid of. If you're already open now, don't open your motor up just to do that. But if you're already in there,
why not?
The labor, what's the labor cost? An extra $1, extra hour of labor for that, a couple $100 versus the part. Of course, the parts are going to cost some, but do it.
The SS1LE is the same way. The SS1LE is the exact same way too. Where the guts are there, but they're not active.
And this is one of the things that we were talking about. Like, is electric faster than gas? And I'm starting to say no. Gas is still faster. Why? Because the EPA is not choking EVs. It's not a fair fight. Take off all this stupid stuff. Get rid of the AFMs. Get rid of the catalytic converters and all that. And then we'll see a fair race. And you know what happens then? Because we've seen modified cars that will wipe the floor with the plaid. Make them like little schoolgirls with the running away.
I mean, the plaid's good for what it is. I mean, being a 4-door sedan, it's hard to beat instant torque. That's the issue between gas and electric. It's hard to all-wheel drive, instant torque.
But it can't stop. It can't handle. It can't do anything.
No, exactly. Now take it to a track.
Straight line performance. Yeah, but you're screwed with the plaid.
I forgot what it was. I was just watched Throttle House. They did it was I want to say it was the C8 something Z06 something else, and the plaid even set a better track time than some other, just because of the sheer power on the straights. It can just make up, and then from zero, from a slowdown off the curve, it's instantly there. So it beat. I have to find the video, but
the issue is this. It's an issue of the torque, right? And the reason why our cars are geared the way they are is only because of emissions. Like, that's top priority, then performance is second. If we were to gear them properly, then we would have I don't want to say instant torque, but we would have cars that would do 0 to 60 in like 1.2 seconds. That's the example I would give is probably this. So recently, if you guys follow, I don't know if you follow this, like the new Enterprise that had those electric catapults instead of compressed air. Right?
Oh, you're talking about the aircraft carriers.
Yeah,
you're talking about aircraft carriers. Yes.
And
use electric mag.
Yeah, and the problem is that they're refitting it back to the older style system because it wasn't fast enough, it wasn't good enough, and it can break. The steam version, just a steam catapult, was better. So I'm like, well, we're talking about F-18s and whatever, and if that's fast enough, then I'm starting to think, why is it that our cars, which are also thermodynamics, are expanding gases and pushing the piston, why is it that our cars are slower now? Like, wow, we have all the computers.
Have a good night, bud.
So, take care, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something. It's a question that doesn't seem to be debated, and I'm not the scientist to sit here. That's not my field to say. What they do with emissions, how much it robs, and not just of like power, because we look at peak power, we look at this, but I want to know power at like 800 RPM. What's my power? That it's impossible that you take an older car, right? You ever watch those videos with the two trucks yanking on a chain, which one's more powerful, right? And that's not an issue of like, oh, well, this truck has, like you take I forgot the T-Rex, right? The Dodge, the Ram. You take a T-Rex and an old 460, 1982 Ford pickup. Which one is going to pull the other one? people would say, "Oh, the T-Rex has got 717 horsepower or 720, whatever it is." No, the Ford one. The Ford is. Let's say they're both equal. Let's say they're both four-wheel drive, both equal weight. The Ford one, because it has more torque at low RPM. Because we only measure max RPM, max torque, and that's coming at higher and higher revs for emissions reasons. Because cars back in the day was like, I'm hitting my max power at 1200 RPM. Or, whatever your shift point was, that's when you wanted it. Who cares about like 7,000? It takes so long to get there. Well, for some cars, big engine, big displacement cars, there's inertia to rev it up, and it's not a little Honda. Mm-hmm. So everything is not in our favor for big American engine kind of cars, muscle cars. And I could say that it's deliberate, but it's not deliberate that it's deliberate, if that makes any sense. Like, they don't care enough to just single us out, but they're also like, oh, wait, it's hurting them more? Good. Keep on doing this. And that seems to be the marching orders.
And they're never going to relax it. It's only going to get
Oh, no, they will. No, it will. I mean, it's inevitable that it will, because we can't continue this way. And once, like, look at the Soviet Union when it collapsed. There were so many laws and regulations. When they collapsed, all of a sudden it was like, you know what? We're going back to the old way.
We're going Mad Max style. But
I don't think it'll be that bad. I don't think it'll be that bad, but...
Well, recently they reconnected that whole thing back to California, because I know Trump split that whole California EPA, how they could self-regulate and all that stuff. That got reconnected recently with Biden looked all that. So it's getting worse at this point. But like I said, we keep seeing these damn massive disasters we have, which cause more pollution in one day than all, tuned, cat deleted cars combined for the history of the vehicle. One day of like one of these massive freaking, train derailments with freaking burn off, and one day did more pollution. I can guarantee you.
And that was deliberate. That was deliberate. It wasn't on fire.
Combined.
Yeah, and then they're still cracking down on, like, now, like HB tuners. I think ECU Tech is following. I guess is owned by Cobb. I guess, or they're owned by the same company, where they removed tuning ability to disable, check engine lights for O2 sensor deletes and cat deletes.
No,
so they're removing it. They're removing it from tuning software, so tuners can't even do like an deleted for a cat. They can't even tune for that. Like turn off the check engine light. They can't.
Well, but doesn't the right to repair bill cover that too?
No, it didn't pass. The right to repair, because I've been following. If any of you guys that are watching, like, check out Louis Rossman. Help this guy. It's in all our interest. The right to repair. He's pushing it for anything. Medical. They're trying to split up into industries. Medical, I think, passed. Colorado. See you, John. Colorado is still in the works. New York, it passed, but here's the thing. Our Governor Hochul, she modified the bill without the state assembly and just neutered the bill. It's pointless. I mean, what's the point of having a Congress at state level when your governor just says, nah, I don't think so. Denied. She didn't veto it.
If they know things are going to go through, then they just neuter the bill or but now,
that's against the state charter. It's against,
they don't care about this stuff.
Well, hopefully
it's court. They're just going to say, take me to court. Good luck. 5 years from now, maybe they'll fix it. But,
it's the same with the two-way thing. Every time something gets deemed unconstitutional, they just write a new bill with different language and bam. And it's, I mean, the irony is, like, right now you don't see my face. I wanted to say this because it's like, there seems to be like this thing against burning. Be it gasoline, be it coal, be it the happy tobacco, all these things. If it's burning, it's bad. Hey, man, glad you made it for us.
Yes, sir. Force hobbies. Unfortunately, I think I was just about to call it. I think.
Let me get back on real quick then.
Put your clothes back on.
You're good.
Yeah, well, it's the
handshake, yeah.
Like I said, you can't burn rubber, you can't burn gas, you can't burn a leaf.
Yeah. How long?
Happy Easter,
Mike Carter
brother.
Says, how long before the Mustang is full on electric and ice is gone? Ice is
never.
Yeah, I mean, even Super Psycho, CEO of GM, has come out and said that we're going to need ice for a very long time. So they're taking $1 billion and developing this. They're taking this $1 billion and developing a brand new V8 for us. So I think that we're going to have ice motors around for a very long time. Even Ford's coming out for.
Mercedes.
I know I've talked to some other people and saying that the Mustang's going to be V8 for like, I think Derp's right, 5 more years, 6 more years, whatever. Even Mercedes has come out, just like Alex was saying, and saying that, they're just going to make V8s and we're going to have to, do what you got to do, but we're going to make V8s.
And they already changed the bill in Germany because, what was it, Audi, so V8 VAG, Volkswagen Audi Group, and Mercedes, they got together and said, look, well, you're going to kill us. The EV thing will destroy German auto industry, and you're going to have like a couple of million people unemployed, angry. And look what's happening in Holland, look what's happening in France. Do you really want Berlin burning? So they changed the bill now, relaxing some of the timeline for banning of EV sales, gasoline sales, right? Eventually it's going to happen here. That's why I said when I put out a video when this happened that, California took the ban. It ain't going to happen. They just do this like 10 years, 15 years in advance to kind of appease their idiot constituents. Look, we're making progress. But when it comes down to it, it's like, not going to happen. We just extend it or rewrite it and so on. We're just a couple of years behind Britain. And, Britain is kind of a lost cause. But Europe is boned. But
yeah.
It comes out. I don't know. I don't know. I want to try to leave it on a more positive note. I don't want to. Well, there we go. That's the dirt we know.
Yeah, that's my ride right there.
Hey, I don't mind that look. Okay, it's stupid, but I like it.
I was wrestling with the big girl on my roof. John Cena, her. Bam.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you feel. That's the big rock. Like a rock. That was Chevy's slogan back in the day.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, I hate to cut it, but I got some stuff to do, and I got probably like 15 minutes to get it done here. So I appreciate you guys coming on, and everybody have a good night, and we'll have to be. I agree. I'll drop another thumbnail, and it's looking 40s and 50s next weekend too. So I'll probably be on here Saturday, Sunday again. So hope everybody has a good week. Don't forget to go to everybody's channel, like this video, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys.
See you.